One of the big problems are looting on the streets, where you see bins kicked over and routed through. And then they came up with another idea for that, which was to put garters around public bins, which defeats the purpose of a bin, which is to put rubbish out of sight until it's collected. So then you have that situation, and then there were fights at those bins. So there seems to be no end to which those behind the scheme are willing to try again and again to make this work.
I think the proof of the pudding has been in the collecting here. We have massive public buy-in. Almost 1 billion of these have already in 11 months gone through the recycling system. So that to me suggests that the Irish public is massively endorsing this system.
Well, you can't measure it unless you know how many are not being returned, which we don't know, because one of the many problems with this scheme are the unanswered questions behind them, and we don't know what the finances of that are. We don't know how much they are worth. And unless we do know that, we cannot possibly gauge the success of the scheme. I think we should certainly have known it. We should know it by now, but we should have known it all along. For some reason, I don't know why, but I think if the scheme was so successful, we should have been knowing both figures all along.
900 million plastic bottles and cans that are now finding their way into full recycling. I think this is important. A lot of what ends up in our green bins at the moment, in fact, is heading for incineration. So this scheme is basically diverting plastic that in many cases has been heading for incineration, and is diverting it instead towards what's called closed loop recycling. That means in the case of aluminium cans, they get reused indefinitely and infinitely. And in the case of PET plastics, they can be reused up to about 7 times. So this is the direction, Shane, that we have to be moving in. We've got to get away from the culture of just throwing stuff away.